Welcome to the Big Agent Meeting. My name is Russ Laggan, Vice President of Training for eXp University. And today's episode is packed with high-value technical tools. We've got event updates, and we've got some proven listing strategies to keep giving you an unbeatable edge in this market. Here's a look at what we've got lined up for today's broadcast. First up, we've got your Essentials Brokerage Brief with the one and only Chief Brokerage Officer, Holly Mabery. Then we're going to kick over to Cameron Cisneros and One eXp's Sustainable Living Network. Join us for an update on what they've got going on and how you can get involved in their organization. Then, of course, we're going to wrap things up by checking in with Alyssa Speck for our eXp University Spotlight. But before we get into all that, I want to talk to you about eXpcon Salt Lake City. We're just weeks away from this year's event, and I think it's going to be one of the best ever. If you haven't heard, we're doing breakout sessions a little bit differently this year. This time, we have 6 different types of interactive sessions. These are all built to help you get the most out of every single session. Let me tell you guys, one of my favorites is actually called the Labs. This is where you actually leave that session with the tools that you've built in real time during that session. You'll actually see the ability to use that in your business immediately. Then, of course, we've got debates. This is where two experts go head to head debating their real estate business strategies. Like, do you send them the price before you show up for the listing appointment? Or do you only wait to talk about price when you're at the listing appointment? Everybody's got a little different way of doing it. And you're going to get to see people debate head to head and figure out which one works best for you. And then, of course, we're going to go back to our dedicated learning paths, which you can see up here on the screen right now. Check this out. These are all built to help agents actually grow at any level and every level. And you have a path that fits for you. So we're delivering so much value this year that you simply can't afford to miss it. The opportunities to learn, to make connections, and to build community are going to be priceless this year. If you'd like, jump on there, scan the QR code on the screen to grab yourself a spot. And with that, let's dive into some real value right now. Here's Holly Mabery with your brokerage brief.
You may have already heard that we've got new rules and some form changes when it comes to appraisals. Well, I wanted to break it down and give you kind of an overarching, like what you should expect and also what to say to your clients. So let's get into it, shall we? First and foremost, we had a lot of activity this summer around the 21st Century Road to Housing Act. And there were some pieces in that act that actually impact appraisals. This is where I get excited because I've been telling folks for a while, look, we have declining appraisers nationally. We just don't have as many as we used to because it required a college degree. And then like in Arizona, 3,000 hours to become a certified appraiser, which you basically work for free for 3,000 hours. And most people are not graduating high school saying, I'm going to go to college and become an appraiser. It's just not happening. But this is what I love about the Road to Housing Act. It is modernizing kind of those national and state oversights. So it will actually fund money for the appraisal systems at the national level, but also it's expanding how people can become a certified appraiser, right? It's going to provide for trainee appraisers, modernization of the experience, also the qualifications. And this is what's so key when we start to look at FHA, because that's such a big piece of how people buy and sell homes right now. FHA loans are critical because that 3.5% down when you're looking at average sales prices so much higher, it's a big deal. And this consistent review also for reconsiderations of second appraisals or reconsideration of value. I'm excited about this being actually into law, that it helps us move forward. So let's talk about the changes that are coming in November. On November 2nd, the shift is happening and the UAD, right? The UAD 3.6, everybody's talking about it in a really big way. Well, UAD 2.6 was a standardized form basically that said, hey, this is what required and this is what it looks like. Well, the new standard, because before it was 91 standards, this has over 3,000 potential standards and possible fields to fill out. What's hard about that is obviously it's going to take more time. People are going to have to walk through the property and understand. But then also it's going more on process versus and logic than it is on just kind of a feeling. And that's really substantial when you look at how we get to work going forward. This will impact your deal flow, especially for the outside. So if you've got things that you're looking to write an offer on, or maybe you're taking the listing right now and they're hoping to be under contract and moved out by the holidays, appraisal could be a big deal. So I want you to think about what this looks like in preparedness, how you talk about it. And so let's break down the different loan types to kind of get you there, right? So conventional, very simple. It's going to be mandatory as of November 2nd. Okay, great. FHA, there's no definitive timeline, but FHA is already going to mirror Fannie and Freddie. The form is there. So really, they're headed this way. Where you've got some wiggle room is talking to your specific lender. They may have some variances, but honestly, guys, FHA is going this way. Now, VA, there is no timeline to adopt the UAD, but we'll probably see some changes, and we already have as far as property requirements. And I'm going to get into that in a minute, but understanding these changes become really important. So let's talk about this new standard. Like the UAD is the Uniform Appraisal Data Set. Okay, that's the actual information. Then you've got the appraisal report. This is the URAR, right? Because we love a good acronym. Well, the key enhancements here are going to separate the condition ratings for interior and exterior. Before, it was one bulk rating. Like you were what you were. So if the house on the outside looked terrible, but the inside was completely brand new, and the outside drug it down. So there were not a whole lot of flexibility. Also, we've got some room for notes for the appraiser, as well as other things going on. So let's talk about that condition and that rating, right? It's going to be looking through a dual perspective as far as what it looks like. Instead of one blanket, you will actually have a sliding scale. And the component level detail, I kind of dig this. But again, this speaks to more time. Kitchens, bathrooms, they receive individual condition reports. So like if you are going to take a listing and it's something that has not been updated since the 50s or 60s, that's going to potentially come up in an appraisal, especially if you start to look at what is the condition of the bathroom, does it need a complete remodel, et cetera, et cetera. And then of course, this accuracy is really driving home across this. Now, the quality versus condition. This is something that I'm actually really excited about. And what will help a whole bunch is how you and I complete our listing. Quality rating versus the condition rating. So the quality is basically the materials that were used. Did you put in laminate countertops or did you put in granite? And what level of granite, right? What is the building material? Is it 2x4 or 2x6 construction? Is it stucco or is it T111? Like all of those things start to make a difference. Is it, fire rated? Is it concrete? All of that. And then you get into condition. And this is basically brand new, well-maintained, or major neglect. And as you and I are having conversations with sellers, it's really important to note that 9 out of 10 buyers are really wanting something that's turnkey. They're not willing to wait. They really want to move in and not think about anything. And so if I'm going out to take a listing right now, I'm talking about paint. I'm talking about flooring. I'm talking about the condition of the outside, because kind of like when you go to eat at a restaurant, there's so many food items that actually have a photo because you eat with your eyes. Well, you shop for homes with your eyes, right? You decide if you're even going to get out of the car just by looking at the outside. And y'all, you're not even getting in the car if the app doesn't show you the best picture. It's a thing. So let's talk about the loans. FHA, we know that HUD has adopted Freddie and Fannie. Okay, great. We've got that mandatory implementation. It is not set quite yet, but the field review, this is what I love. That has been eased. It actually reverted back because 2024, 2025 got really, really strict and it was really difficult. That has eased back to pre-2024 levels. Excited. Also, the reconsideration of value, it can be requested and that older guidance is back in play. But let's pivot and look at VA, because this is, I know where personally, when I was doing a lot of transactions, VA always caught me. So I was very, very mindful of what our veterans needed to have to move into a safe and healthy property. First, these changes already took place, so you're probably seeing them. The detached sheds or outbuildings do not have to meet a minimum property standards. I remember having a property where we actually had to tear down the shed because it was a little rusty. It was not in great working condition. and it was just kind of a shell. VA had us tear it down. Okay, no big deal. Peeling or chipping paint. This was one that did catch me, and I ended up volunteering a portion of my compensation to help to cover the peeling and chipping paint because, yeah, it needed to be completely scraped off and repainted. Now, this is the key. If the peeling or chipping paint and the house is newer than 1978, you're good. Older than 1978, you got lead-based paint standards that are going to go into play there, and I want you to be very, very thoughtful. Also, oxygen depletion sensors, right? That certification for non-vented heaters is no longer required. I know that's a mouthful, right? And then radon certifications for new construction, no longer required. So those are some changes we're already seeing. And many times we had to show up and the appraiser was calling these things out. So it makes a huge difference. When we think of the shifts that are coming, that value acceptance is huge. And what this means basically is an appraisal waiver. What's interesting to me is loan to value ratios up to 90%. So these are people with amazing credit. They're able to do the appraisal management company or the lender is saying, hey, I'm able to look online. This value looks to be very consistent. This is a good risk. We can waive the appraisal. And that's very interesting to watch. So I'd be having a conversation with my local lender just to seek to understand more. Then the next thing I want you to consider is how that goes across the board with other things that you're doing. First and foremost, reconsideration of value. Yes, there have been times we've had to go back and ask, hey, what can we do here? Is there another, can we give you more information? Maybe get the price up. The timing is specific. So be talking to your lender about what that could look like and how you move forward. And then also you get into the termination or terminology, the standardization. I love this because now we're speaking the same language across all appraisals and loans. Now, let's talk about your clients. That expectation for your listings, yeah. Closing in under 30 days with a conventional loan is very possible, but if you have a closing that is maybe November 10th, 11th, 12th, even just before Thanksgiving, you may need to give yourself a little extra time or make sure the appraisal is ordered earlier because of this increased turnaround time. It's such an important piece because as we protect our sellers in getting them onto their next, we also want to be protecting the buyers. That granular documentation, and this is where you and I going out to take a listing is going to be so critical. Appraisers are going to be looking for enhanced details, right? So specific renovation dates, when was the bathroom done, new roof, HVAC, and in some instances, they're going to be asking for the permits where needed, of course. That proof of permit is going to be critical. So if somebody's putting an auxiliary dwelling unit on the back of the house, you got to have it. And those photos with written descriptions are absolutely going to matter because the MLS photos can be utilized in a lot of these appraisals, which is great and it's time saving. This is the other thing I will say is these core valuation methods, right? The rating systems that we're seeing for both condition as well as the usage of materials in the property makes a difference. And we should see things kind of even out as we go into 2027. But like anything new, that first 60, 90 days can be a little rocky. So your tips for success are really going to be talking to your local lender. What are they experiencing? What are they preparing for? And are they doing a AVM or desktop? If they are doing a desktop review, okay, great. Is there enough information in that listing in the MLS to actually get you what you're really paying for that property? Also, understanding the roles, right? What is the difference between the lender and also the home inspection? Because those are completely different. And I bring this up again because FHA and VA, we relied so much on the lender to pull out information that the home inspector might have missed, a la the peeling paint. So you really want to be an advocate during that home inspection process. Inspect what you expect. And could it come up in the home inspection? Like, what is the condition of the roof, the exterior, the deck, all of those things? And of course, the review strategy, right? The reconsideration of value, if you will. What does that look like? Who's working together? How do you provide those things? And I'll say this, if you have to depend all the time on the ROV, you as an agent, there are ways to be more proactive. And this is putting together a better packet for the appraiser, making sure that listing is tighter, more photos, descriptions, everything that it looks like. I never want to leave you without action steps. So as you think about between now and November 2nd, I want you to consult with your local lenders. I want you to look at and start practicing around optimizing your listings. And this is going to be everything from the listing details, what's going in the descriptor in all of the photos, labeling them correctly. Also, you want to understand what that actionable guidance is for both your buyers involving the impacts of their financing. So can you speak to it? Are you comfortable with it? And that's why talking with the lender in advance is going to be huge. Also, you want to understand that the property is compliant with where you're headed. And then, of course, we're always going to be strengthening our network. And what I mean by that is, who do you have on your short list as a contractor, a handyman, a plumber, a painter, etc., a roofer that can come out and fix things in very short notice for you? It's going to make a huge difference as we look to all these changes that are coming. And again, at the end of the day, you and I are here to make sure that we take the friction out of the process for our clients. And every time we do that, it's better referrals, it's a better customer experience, and the longevity of what you and I get to do make all the difference in the world. I hope this helps, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you very much, Holly, for that essential update. Staying on top of the loop on what's going on in our industry is one of the best things you could do as a real estate agent. Next up, we have a special update with OneEXP Sustainable Living Network. They're going to tell you all about how agents and staff can get involved in their truly inspiring supportive community. Here's OneEXP manager, Cameron Cisneros, to kick us off. Take it away, Cameron.
What's up, EXP? I'm Cameron Cisneros, manager of OneEXP. And listen up, I want to talk about something today that I believe we're all guilty of. Because there's so many agents who are leaving money and impact on the table because they're not building something that's bigger than their own pipeline. And today, I want to talk about the eXp Sustainable Living Network. This is where agents who care about sustainability and doing right by the planet turn that into the ultimate business advantage through education, innovation, and moving together as a group instead of trying to build alone. You get the tools, the systems, the relationships, the proximity, the leadership development to build a greener future and to build your business at the same time. Because the agents who win the next decade aren't just chasing transactions. They're building something that actually matters to them, and they're cashing in while they're doing it. So the two leaders that I'm bringing on today to dive more into this are Jen Roundtree and Hannah Marquez, our chair and vice chair of the Sustainable Living Network. I'm super excited to bring them on today to chat more about what's going on in the world and how you can get connected today. So without further ado, Jen, Hannah, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Cam. I'm so excited to be here at the Big Agent Meeting. My name is Jen Roundtree. I am your eXp Sustainable Living Network Chair, and I am so excited to be here. If you don't know or haven't heard about Sustainable Living Network, let me plug you in. We are a community that is growing within OneEXP, and we are helping agents not only with their green initiatives, but we are also helping fostering businesses, careers, and lifestyles that are built to thrive and last.
That is so right. Thank you, Jen. I am Hannah Marquez, our vice chair of the Sustainable Living Network, and I'm also a project manager here at eXp. One of our newest members has just shared that the way that we show up online and how we have tried to foster a very stable community for our members has not helped her only in her business, but also in her personal life. So plugging into our network, you will get things like our sustainable series every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern. And also, we just launched our ambassador program where we not only have a nationwide presence now, but we also have broken into our international market. So you get access to all kinds of people all across the world. Sustainable is going to mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So this can feed into, if you can sustain your business. So are you making sure that you're not burnt out and taking care of yourself? This is making sure that your family can sustain, your community can sustain, our company can sustain. There's so many different other things that feed into it.
Absolutely. The agents that are plugging in right now, they're plugging into something bigger than themselves. This is not your regular network. This is a movement that we are creating globally. And we're really leaning into that EXP model when I say globally. And we are doing things across the nation. You want to be a part of this, not only for your local community, for your business, for your clients, but also for other agents. This organization is built by agents for agents. So if you want to have a hand in something bigger than yourself, plug in. Join us on the hub. We are going live every Friday with sustainable sessions at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Catch us in real life in Salt Lake City at eXpcon. We are giving away 20% discount for registrations right now. We can't wait to build with you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks, everyone, and we'll pass back to you, Russ.
All right. Thank you very much, Cameron and Jen and Hannah. So here's an important takeaway. Sustainability isn't just about helping the world around you. It also means helping yourself and your business stay stable and repeatable. The best part is, if your energy and your business are sustainable, then the communities around you are going to get the best version of you too. So make sure you're taking care of yourself also. And of course, one of the best ways to help you stay sustainable in this market and business is around education and training. To break down everything you need to know about eXp University's upcoming training, let's throw it over to Alyssa Specht and eXp University Spotlight.
If you've ever heard a seller say, well, maybe we could just lower the price later, you know that pricing a listing is about a whole lot more than just pulling the comps. Join us on September 2nd, where our very own Russ Laggan and Candice Garcia are going to show you how top listing agents prepare the seller before the pricing conversation ever even happens. So we're talking about how you frame the market, how you talk about that dreaded price adjustment conversation. And guys, you're going to get a whole lot more with this as well. So there are actually 24 playbooks from our listing agents. There are AI accelerator GPTs. There is a pricing challenge. There are checklists. There are action plans. We have got all of this waiting for you on September 2nd. So get registered for Price It Right, get it sold. And speaking of turning a strategy into a system, quick question for you. How many open houses have you held where you had traffic, but nothing to show for it? Then join us on August 25th. This is our Icon Lead Mastery, and we are tackling open houses with Angela Fazio, because the goal isn't just to get people through the door. It is knowing how to turn that open house into conversations, into relationships, into future business. Now, Angela is going to help you think differently about this, about how you see open houses and how this is actually a lead generation opportunity. So guys, that's Icon Lead Mastery, open houses with Angela Fazio, August 25th. Get registered for it, and I'll see you there.
Thank you very much, Alyssa. I cannot wait, Alyssa, to take on our very first cohort of Icon Seller Mastery, Price It Right, Get It Sold, alongside with the one and only Candice Garcia. This course is absolutely packed with strategies. We've got systems, we've got expertise. Guys, I am studying this stuff every single day to make sure we deliver you guys the most action-packed, powerful 2 hours on pricing that this industry has ever seen. So before we officially wrap up things for today, I need a quick favor from you guys. If you could, you're going to see the QR code pop up on the screen right now. Let us know. Give us a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. How did we do today? Give us some feedback. I want to say thank you very much for showing up today's show. If you could, like and subscribe so you make sure you get to see everything we bring out that's good and new every single week. Thank you very much for hanging out with us today. I will see you guys next week on Big Agent Meeting.
Following the Big Agent Meeting, serious agents are coming here. KGCI streams real-world real estate strategy 24 hours a day. Lead generation, conversion, marketing that actually works. Take it with you wherever you go. Download the always free Real Estate On Air mobile app for iPhone and Android, available now.